have to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, as they say. And the fact is that I am far away from you when you do your learning. And that means that I don't really know who's doing not the learning, but who's the one doing the thinking on what's being turned in on the course page, right? If we were together in the classroom, I could hear you speaking, and we could be interacting, and this is psychology. Is supposed to be a fun class where we see how many different ways there are of looking at the world, and it's not really about right and wrong answers. And what I've noticed as we start to have more and more access to different AIs is that I'm not getting a whole lot of different thinking. I'm getting more and more of the same responses because students aren't doing the thinking. And so I want to discuss a little bit today. Are AI assistants making my life easier and better, right? They're doing these things. And should I be using AI in my psychology class specifically? And how can I use AI assistance if I'm trying to really help my learning and my memory versus am I using the assistance to just get work done so I can do something else, right? The advantage I have of teaching psychology is it's an elective course. You don't have to take it. I hope you're taking it because you're interested in it. So let's kind of talk about these things a little bit. The first is we're going to look at memory a lot. We're going to have a whole unit or a whole part of a unit on memory. And the idea with memory is that it's to help us survive, right? If we look at it on a more basic level, and when something is hard or we feel a little bit threatened, we learn things, we remember things better, right? Our memory needs us to work it out just like our muscles do. And if every time we need to do something, we're just taking the easy way, which is the fastest, which is, hey, let's say I need to know a term and I don't really want to watch the videos that Mrs. Hinman has put up. I don't really want to read the book to see how everything fits together. I can just go and get this term. And we always could have done that. It's not like AI is doing something spectacular when it tells you a term, but anytime that you don't see how everything fits together in context and you're just looking for little bits and pieces, you're not really working out your own memory. All right, and AI can be fun. I generated this image with AI, right? There's so many times when we're trying to express something, right? I wanted to get the idea across that I could be so excited to watch the AI do lift the weights and I could have my protein shake in hand and it's not going to help me build any muscles, right? I can't watch others do it. I can't get the answers. And there's a time and a place for using the AIs. I just don't know that it's in your psychology class most of the time. And this was actually studied. Obviously, it wasn't people in the maze, but there were rats in the maze. And the question is, does struggling while you're learning something help you learn it better? And the answer is yes. So when they put mice in a very simple maze, the mice go through it very easily. They get the reward at the end, and then they take the mice away from the maze. And when they put them back in, they see that they never get faster at solving that maze. It was too easy for them to even form long-term memories. Versus when they put mice in more complicated mazes, it takes them a while to get through. They struggle a little bit. They finally get through. They get the reward. They take the mice away from the maze, and when they bring them back, they see that they get faster at it because they remembered how to do it, right? So when we struggle a little bit, when something is harder for us, we remember it, right? So anytime I'm using an AI to help make my life easier, I'm actually stopping myself from forming long-term memories. Right. And we need to also keep in mind, and I think QSI is amazing at this, is that fail is just first attempt in learning, right? We fall down when we learn to ride bicycles. We mess up when we're learning stuff. And this shouldn't be viewed as failing, right? This is the struggle. When you fall down and you then get it, that's struggling. That's helping you form long-term memories, which is the purpose of learning. All right. Now, another issue I really see is that I've been teaching online since 2015, and every year I have less questions. And I view it as, parents or companies or somebody's paying for your education. You're going to a private school and you have a teacher here who's taught 20 some years, and I'm getting less and less questions, right? So I want to interact with you. I want you to ask me questions. I'm here to help. If something is confusing to you, write me on Teams chat. I love chatting. I love discussing. I schedule meetings with students, right? And it's important to keep an idea on that why AI can sound so sure and be so wrong. It's not always right. And it doesn't know when it's wrong. So you take you're a new learner at something, you don't know when it's wrong. It's going to sound sure even if it's wrong. And there's lots of things it's right on, but it's just going through all the information it can find, right? And it can summarize that information very quickly. And I can give you a really good example of it being wrong and the student not knowing it. It was in a math class and the student was making a presentation and then they had to write a test question or a quiz question on that content. And all of us listened to the presentation and then we're trying to solve the question, and there's just not enough information to solve the question, right? And because the student didn't try to think of it themselves, right? They didn't understand. They could have prompted the AI further and like said, oh, does this miss some information? But if you don't know something's not there, you don't know to ask these questions. So I just, anytime you're interacting with an AI, do it very cautiously, and ask me questions. Like if you interact and you're confused on something, still this doesn't look right, ask me. I'm happy to chat with you. All right, now, if you are going to interact with AIs, and again, I'd rather you interact with me, but if you are, it's about asking it the right questions, right? Instead of typing, what's the difference between proactive and retroactive interference, try explain proactive and retroactive. If I'm seeing the material for the first time, include a clear example of each, why they matter for memory, real life situations, right? Give me a scenario, right? Focus on elaboration, examples, application, instead of just straight out definitions, right? You can say, what is proactive interference? And then you can write that down on your paper, right? But if your goal is truly understanding the difference of them, it'll help you get that. Obviously, I've given you all these resources too. This information will be in the textbook that you get, the videos that I put up, the additional resources that I give you. And I'd rather you use the resources that I'm giving you than doing this. But if you're curious, which I hope you are, there's so many ways to get more information, right? Also, you can use the teach it back or student teacher swap, right? You submit, here's my summary of something, or here's my definition. Critique it, point out what's missing, what's inaccurate. Ask me questions that would show I truly understand it, right? If you're working with the AI to help be a tutor, again, it's not going to know if it's wrong, but there's lots of ways it can help you learn. Request multiple representations and connections. Teach me about operant conditioning using a table comparing the four main types. Then give a real world example, right? Connected to biology, you can ask it to be looking at different angles, right? We don't have to worry about AP questions, but try to make your focus be learning it. And ask why, so what? Ask depth questions. So why does it matter for understanding human behavior? What are the major criticisms, right? How might this concept show up differently? All right, it can help you learn. Now, you don't have quizzes, progress checks, or assessments. You will have some case studies. You will also have some projects. All right, you will also have discussions. When you have projects, case studies, discussions, don't ask the AI for help on this, please. All right, and even if you're summarizing and putting it in your own words, it doesn't take into account, the AI doesn't know you. So for example, one of your assignments this year will be to find an advertisement that you find effective, right? This year, I got one advertisement submitted to me over and over again because that was the idea the AI had, and everyone picked the same advertisement, right? When I asked people to tell me about their own experiences with emotions, this year I got 10 times the same essay, right? Or the same structure, the same ideas. And your emotions, the AI can't capture your emotions, or the different versions of it. So please, on case studies, projects, discussions, anything that I'm asking for you to reflect on your personal opinion or states, please do it. It makes the class so much more useful for you. All right. And finally, or not finally, I got one more slide after this, but close to finally, if you can think of me as a mentor, my own children go to a Hungarian public school, and they have sometimes this idea that the teacher and them, they're at odds with one another. They don't view the teacher as necessarily on their side. So if they sit they're like, oh, my classmate got away with cheating, is how they phrase it to me. You're not getting away with anything, because I'm not trying to catch you doing something. Right? I'm trying to be here to give you direction, right? Which way are we going? I'm trying to help you support your training, your practice, and what you're learning. If you feel like you can't do something, I'm here to pick you up. I'm here to push you to keep going. I'll remind you of your goals, and we can be successful together. This is not me versus you. This is me helping you. And it's very important that you view it in this way, because you're paying for something. And if you're not learning something, if something else, you're just turning something into me to get it done, well, there's a good chance I won't know, because I'm not there with you learning, like I said at the beginning. Sometimes it's obvious and I'll ask you about it, but you have to be the one who wants to learn this, who wants to see, how do I understand it, who wants to make it useful in your life. All right. And last, this is kind of my philosophy of life, is choose your hard. There's so many difficult things in our lives, and I want to choose the one that I want whenever I can. It's not always possible, but when I can, right? Regret is very difficult. Discipline is hard. I get up every morning at 4:30. I grade at 6 o'clock. I work out every day, right? Regret is hard. Discipline is hard. Choose which hard you want. Pleasing everyone is hard. Pursuing what you love is hard, right? Choose your hard. Indecision is hard. Trusting yourself is hard. Which one do you want? Suffering is hard. Asking for help is hard. Which one do you want? Dealing with illness is hard. Adopting a healthy lifestyle is hard. Which one do you want? And I should have changed this. I started this presentation for math, right? Doing your own psychology work is hard. Doing your own thinking is hard. Feeling lost or feeling like I didn't really learn anything in this class later is hard. Which one do you want? All right, I'm here to help you. Let's have a really good year together, and let me know when you need help. Thank you very much.